Yeah, kind of. We were saying because I had loads of French people saying wesh, wesh,
Well,
wesh,
we might do
quoi?
takes.
How was your holiday, man?
I'll just ask you.
Oh.
Pat didn't enjoy his holiday.
I did. I did. Don't do that. I did.
You know what it
I
sounded
didn't like the price
You know them
bounces.
TikToks? Have you seen them TikToks when it's like, when it feels like the holiday's the end of the friendship or something? You seen them TikToks?
Oh yeah, no.
That's
Oh, no, when you survive a holiday with your friends, it's a good sign. It was just Paris bouncers are just, yeah, they're a bit annoying. You just got to know someone.
Mm. But you had a good,
But,
you
I had a good
holiday?
time. Yeah, it was a nice time to relax, chill. Different scenery. Nice accommodation. Accommodation was
the
nice.
Accommodation did look good.
Yeah, no. I got the best bed.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
Decide?
Huh?
How did you decide?
I booked it.
Oh, I thought you should have done like a
No, I wasn't doing that.
challenge.
No, I wasn't doing that. No. To be fair, I was like maybe, but then I didn't want Josh be winning. Barcelona.
Barcelona was good, man. Like, nice sun, nice weather, good food, good paella. 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 That's what I call it.
Tapas.
Nah, but it's nice. I had paella. I had sangria. I never had sangria before. That shit gets you licked. I only knew that from like football player songs.
What type of drink is it?
It's like, so obviously it's wine. You know, they like their wine out there. I like a glass of red in it. I worked in a wine bar, cork on bottle graduate. Do you know what I'm saying? That's how I see it. I'm a cork on bottle graduate. But no, it's wine. You can get white or red. Obviously, it changes the drink. And what juice? They put juice, fruit, and then spirits in it.
Oh.
And it gets you fucking pumped.
Wave. Does it feel like?
So they give you a jug with like this big like flat like stick thing in to like scoop the
it.
ice, or if you want ice, or the fruit into it, like chopped up fruit. So they're citrusy fruits, and it's mainly like apple, bit of like orange and lime and lemon, and that obviously brings out the alcohol as well, intensifies the alcohol. And we had a 500 milliliter jug. That's not even too big. Like, it's a jug. Don't get me wrong, it's a jug.
It's a jug.
Pour it into your wine glass.
Wave.
I felt it a little bit at dinner. Isla was pumped, but she's little compared to me. Yes, guys, welcome back to another two-man step. We're outside the gaff at least, outside my gaff.
Yeah.
But it's not nice weather. We weren't sure about maybe rain coming down, so we're back in the bandstand. Arguably where we filmed what felt like our best episode.
Our favourite video so far.
Our favourite one we've dropped. So, hopefully we can replicate that. It was also about the England team, most of it, and this one's obviously just a quick two-man step, and it's going to be about England-Slovakia game. We wanted to give a couple days to, let it marinate, let the dust settle, see how we felt about the game, maybe look at a couple other reactions, see how the media see it, and see how we can react, and maybe not be as reactionary as we would have been if we'd done it straight after the game. But on the whole, I don't know about you, Pat. Obviously, you were away. I was fortunately back now to watch this one. I was able to watch this game intensely. I sat down, really, I want to pay attention here. It was bad. Like, it was disappointing.
Bad. Yeah, England was terrible from defence to attack. Kyle Walker, terrible. Trippier, terrible. Declan Rice, unfortunately, it was bad. Mainly played well. I feel like he was the only one from the midfield that was showing for the ball in that game. Saka didn't have his best game. Kane, even though he scored, still hasn't shown us that Kane that we've seen this season. And obviously we still have that problem with Phil Foden on the left wing and him trying to adapt to his position. Bellingham, obviously, bicycle kick. I can't lie, I was screaming. I was like, damn.
Yeah, I fell over. My dad was sitting at the edge of the sofa. At this point, I was nervous. I was standing up behind my dad, and as he scored, I've just gone straight over the front of my dad, roly-polied into the thing. There's a video, you'll see it in the £1 to 1,000.
Wait, did he record your reaction to it?
You can see me sort of falling off my dad when Isla filmed it.
What was your bet for that game?
Fucking shit. It was fucking shit. I can't lie, we're still at £1.
I'm telling you.
It's so bad. And the thing is, yesterday I tried lie.
Easy.
I put a tenner on. I was going to say I got it from this, and I lost that. It was so bad. I was like, oh, this series is a mess. So today I might just listen, £1 to 1,000. We're gonna do it as like £10 to 1,000 now. I need to get going.
I can't like. You might just go all out. You have to go all out.
We've only got a few games left.
No, but that's what I mean. Like once you get 10, you've got to do the most outlandish bets just to try.
That's what I'm doing. That's why I'm not winning, bruv. I need to do like Mbappe to have a shot. That's it.
I feel like if you end with £1, you've got to do something.
Yeah, obviously the last video, if I'm on £1, I'm gonna have to do a pound that turns £1 into 1,000. So I'm basically have to bet on like 3 guys to score a goal in the final and get them all right.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And the scoreline. So it sounds like maybe your issue with the team is more personnel based. For me personally, the whole system was messed for me. I think if you look at how the game was, I was trying to like look as intense as possible at what was going wrong, because previous games I've been out, whatever. It was the first game I watched in the comfort of my home, and I could tell you that we weren't playing a low block and we weren't playing a high line, but we were playing this like middle, in between the two. It wasn't too sure where they were, and when we get the ball, no midfielders were really there to come for the ball. So you didn't have Rice coming and showing for the ball. So it kind of made where we were playing very disjointed. The defence almost were isolated. You only have Minu come for the ball.
Yeah.
And then between Rice and Minu, and then Bellingham was all the way up there basically in attack. So you didn't have all of them coming for the ball. So there was no like connection as a team. We're very spaced out. The attack's up as if we're playing a high line, but the defence is almost just midway between the halfway line and the penalty box. And they weren't stepping up with the ball. They weren't trying to progress, and often we resorted to then trying to play a long ball once it wasn't working. I felt during the game you could see they began to not want to give Kyle Walker the ball. Like many times John Stones got the ball and literally just turned away from Kyle Walker. And I'm like, you're literally now cutting out a player. Pep always says with his teams, you have to have 11 players on the ball. That's how you beat a press. And Slovakia were pressing England, but we weren't being able to beat that press because although we're giving Jordan Pickford the ball, Kyle Walker's rendered useless by them not wanting to give him the ball.
Yeah.
We have all this talent midfield, whether it's Minu, Bellingham, Foden. Previous games, you had Trent there. Get them the ball and get the rest of the team up the pitch.
Yeah.
I want to almost see how, because we're trying to play the ball so much, we clearly want to keep possession. Step up and do that. Apply a bit of pressure to the other team. Give it the opportunity to try and create a chance. Me and you were once talking about how Arsenal play with the ball like almost on the edge of the other team's penalty box.
Oh yeah. And we try we squeeze them in. Yeah.
England need to step up with the ball and try to do that because we were so disjointed. There was so much space between defence to midfield and even midfield to Bellingham and then to the attack. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think on the whole side just looked a mess. It wasn't clear what England are trying to do. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't clear how we were trying to play or the aim of how we're trying to take a game on. And I think if you come up against a better side, and props to Slovakia, they played pretty well. They pressed us well. They put us under a lot of pressure on the ball, and I think at times you saw us struggle. I think one thing I saw that was just indifference in how the teams were playing was one time when Stones was pressed as opposed to when Skriniar was pressed. And how Skriniar managed to sort of turn out, was playing with confidence. It felt like as a group of individuals on the side, they weren't playing with confidence. But again, with the structure of the side, what I would want to see for the next game is a far more compact side.
Like a full-on high press from the
Not even, I don't know, because clearly we're not going to press as a team, really. The team is not going to press. Like, how we're playing is how we're playing. But there's certain tweaks that need to be made if you're going to win these next games.
On the ball, you want centre-backs to step up halfway line.
100%. Centre-backs to step up, full-backs to step up, players who can play on the ball as well. If players aren't going to use Kyle Walker on the ball, get him off the pitch.
Yeah.
Because he was useless.
He's clearly the person you don't want on the ball anyway, because every time he had the ball, he'll miss-hit a pass or overhit, or he'll give you a pass like hip height where you can't even control it, and it's just like, what's the point of him having on?
Well, he hasn't got the capabilities on the ball to do what Trent Alexander-Arnold does.
Of course.
Who we've said before is arguably the best passer in the world,
Yeah.
arguably. And again, any side in the world. Sorry. Can you get me that drink? Just chuck it. My throat is going here. Love. I feel like any other country in the world would utilise a player Trent's ability, especially with how England were playing. Okay, so how England were playing, like we said, there's so much gaps between the players. The midfield are either sitting in with the defence or they're not coming for the ball. What my issue a lot of that game was, they weren't coming for the ball. Declan Rice is, we've been told, and agreeably so, is one of the best midfielders in the world at the moment.
Yeah.
I want to see him go get that ball. It's almost like when we're talking about Arsenal against Bayern Munich, no one wants to take the game by the scruff of the neck. Declan Rice in this game needs to go get that ball off the centre backs.
Yeah.
Need to go tell John Stones, Mark Gay, you give me that ball.
But
Because it was the only player that was doing it was Kobe Mainoo, an 18-year-old who's played half a season of professional football. Was the only player in that team come to get the ball. And what he did was he was turning out, he was getting out of tight spaces when they were pressing him, and he was giving the ball. He'd give the ball to Declan Rice. What did Declan Rice do? Go straight back. Now, to me, that isn't a Declan Rice issue if he's going straight back. Clearly, that's what they've been told to do, to keep the ball. And I don't mind as well, what England were clearly trying to do is take the sting out of the game at times. But at times, they weren't taking the sting out of the game, and then when the opportunity there was to play that forward pass into midfield, they weren't utilising it. So when does taking the sting out of the game become being far too conservative, being far too reserved on how you're playing football to even go for an attack?
with the Declan Rice point, I feel like that's a weakness that he's always had, and that's why Arteta always had Jorginho next to him, so he can come collect the ball. And I think Kobe Mainoo, he's got the similar qualities to Jorginho of how they control the game. And I think that with Southgate, I think he was smart of bringing in Kobe Mainoo. But with me, I feel like in international football, we spoke about the manager a lot. I don't like him. I want him out. Whatever tactics is gone. But I feel like with international football, it's easy for the players to like step up and bring their individual talent. So that's why I've got like more of an issue with the players so far, because we've got all these world-class players right now: Saka, Kane, Foden, Bellingham. Like we've got talent, of course, and I feel like none of them have stepped up yet.
Right.
And that's why my issue is slightly more on the players, because we get it, the manager's terrible, but you're still there on the pitch, and you haven't really shown us that world-class talent that we've seen in past clubs. But if it was obviously club football, it makes sense, because the manager's tactics has got a lot to play in it.
Sure. And whilst I agree with that, my thing is, we agree, but that's been the same thing now for the 4 games we've played and the warm-up games for this tournament. It was the same issue. Yeah. So why hasn't he now gone, okay, I need to make some changes? Kieran Trippier is bombing up that left side, overlapping Phil Foden. But they know if he gets the ball, he's no longer working as an effective decoy, because if he gets the ball, he's going to give them the ball. He's not putting a cross in. Kieran Trippier was not putting a cross in. He's turning back, giving the ball to Phil Foden, who's then just trapped sort of in this like middle space. You haven't got anyone making that inside run then for Foden to play it through. So we then that's why he then turns back, gives it back to Rice, who gives it back to Gahey. Do you understand what I'm saying? We weren't cohesively going forward as a team, and that's where you put it down to the manager. Another thing is, you've got football now is so much reliant on systems. How Spain have played, how France, even France haven't looked especially good, how they're playing is stuck to a system. And England's system is so bad and is so disjointed in the side compared to, first of all, what we've seen in previous tournaments, but also the fluidity of the team. And that's why Kobe Mainoo was the one thing in that team I think he allowed some sort of fluidity at some points. Do you know what I mean? He was the one player in that team who was allowing getting the ball and being able to turn and make a bit of a drive with it, which is where I'd say he was also probably England. That's probably one of England's best performances of the tournament as a player, as an individual. So for an individual England player, he was one of the best That was one of the best performances we've seen yet, because of how he was taking the game and driving and wanting the ball. Something I did not see from a single other player on the pitch. I would want to now go onto the personnel, because we've spoken about Southgate, how the team set up the spaces between midfield, defence, attack. But now the individuals. Is there an issue with the individuals? Is there an issue with, does this system work with a few tweaks to the team? That if we put Trent in the team, who is categorically sort of agreed one of the best passers, everyone's now said you need Trent in the team.
At right back.
At right back. Do you not think now you put Trent in at right back, that system works slightly better, because that's someone who, if you pass and turn out in the ball, their press is over here. You got the winger there
The
who's
winger
free.
there, yeah.
That's because there was one ball in the game where Kyle Walker played that ball and it was a great pass. I remember going, that's an unbelievable ball, relatively early on. If you do that, Trent does that 10 times in the first half,
Yeah.
10 times in the second half, instantly getting the ball into more space, more opportunity. Does he create that opportunity for England to maybe play this way and maybe sit a little bit deeper because how he can drive with the balls right back and how he
It will
can
definitely
pass?
help, especially with Saka on the right wing, because every time you see Saka on the right wing, he's getting doubled up, and that's because Kyle Walker on the ball, you don't really need to like.
No, that's exactly that's what I was saying about Trippier. They don't work as
Trippier,
effective
yeah, it doesn't.
decoys.
So I feel like Trent at right back, it'll just free up so many different options, so many different options, such as Saka having a 1v1, also more space for the like RCM, the right centre midfield as well. So that we can play on, and that could obviously lead on to helping Harry Kane later on, especially when he's dropping deep. But the personnel Foden, I just feel like yes, I don't. What do you think is his best position?
Probably the 10.
The
but
10
I would argue.
is that Bellingham's best position.
I would argue. I don't know. I don't know with Bellingham.
Yeah, with
because
Bellingham.
he realistically we need him in a 10 because he's the one player at the moment who can offer us a big moment.
Yeah.
And that's why, despite the fact that I'd argue he's played poorly, he has to stay in the side.
Yeah, of course.
I would argue though that him and Rice's best position could potentially be the 8.
8.
And is actually the issue of trying to shoehorn both Rice and Bellingham into the side.
Yeah.
But then we don't have like a 6 who's played at that level because you could argue we play Wharton there.
Yeah.
But he hasn't played that level. Now it is too late. Again, this is my criticism of Southgate not utilising the squad enough.
Yeah, it's
It's
too late
now
to
it is
drop
too late
Wharton.
to just throw someone in at quarterfinals of the Euros
Of course.
against a Switzerland side that are growing in confidence.
They're
to
growing
me.
in confidence, and they've got Euros experience as well. So it will be tough for Wharton just to be dropped in first game against that high pressure game. It will be tough for
Yeah.
him.
What I would argue is now Southgate has made his bed. He's sort of
It's just got a lay in it right now.
yeah, he's got a lay in it, obviously.
You've got a lay in it right now. You just
But-
got to deal with it.
But with how he's decided to utilise the squad, he's now got, I would say, 16 players he can actually use. 16, 17 players he can use. And that's obviously the starting 11 from the last game. Then Gallagher, Trent, Konza, Eze, Palmer, Tony.
Tony, did you say Gallagher?
Yeah, I said Gallagher. The players he's used a little bit are players he will chuck in. He's not going to chuck in Joe Gomez after not playing him a single minute.
He's gonna have to. You might have to though.
He's not going to. So
You
I
think it's gonna be Konza?
no. So we'll talk about this in a minute.
Yeah.
We'll stick with that. Let's keep on the individuals. For me, Phil Foden again is. We've got too many players who want to come inside. If Harry Kane's coming deep for the ball, Phil Foden's coming deep for the ball. Saka was staying wider than Foden, but still coming short for the ball,
Yeah.
especially down towards Kyle Walker, because we weren't getting the ball up the pitch enough. So that's another issue of how we weren't getting the ball, the centre-backs in midfield bringing the ball up the pitch and stepping up as a line. That's like the first thing, Dylan, we used to play centre-back together. The one thing I always would do is just step up. As soon as the ball's gone, it's step up. And we're playing Sunday League. We're 14, 15-year-olds playing Sunday League. We knew that. Do you know what I mean? We knew that you step up. And it felt like that's one thing England haven't been told to do, haven't been directed to do. It was bad because we had so much space in the midfield that shouldn't have been there. Defence should have been there, the midfield should have been there, attacks there, not defence is there, midfield's like there, and then the attack's up there. We were utilising the whole 11.
The pep signals.
It was ridiculous. So with that, because of all that space, you then had the attackers coming deep. But then it meant that the attackers were coming deep and the defenders didn't necessarily track with them.
There's loads of players coming for the ball.
Sometimes
Yeah.
if the defence did, we were then just now stuck halfway down the pitch as opposed to someone making the run or being on the last man. So what I would argue for the next game, what we need is 2 wingers who are going to stay on the touchline. You're going to tell them, listen, Anthony Gordon is not going to be him because he hasn't played.
Yeah.
It's going to be
Only
Foden.
play like 1 minute.
It's going to be Foden again, realistically.
Yeah.
It's going to be Saka again. Saka, who, by the way, although he's playing awful, has got an injury. It's so obvious he's injured.
You think
He's
I
not
don't
running.
use that
No,
kid.
he's not running. Like, that guy's injured. He's
No,
been injured all year, and
Yeah.
he's fallen off at times in the season as well. He's injured. Like, he's not a bad footballer. He is injured.
You're saying.
He's clearly
But I feel like with Saka,
nursing injury. I promise you next year, in the next Premier League season,
Yeah.
Saka will have a sustained period out.
maybe. But
I'm
I feel
very
like people
confident of
getting
it.
the wrong perception of Saka as a player because people think Saka's like a getting behind, like
No, he's
he
take
just-
a man on.
He's taking man on, or he actually likes the ball like to feet
Yes,
like a lot of times, and
Likes,
also
no, he likes ball to feet and gives it to Erdegaard,
yeah,
and then he gets in behind.
yeah. Like facts. That's why he needs like another person, like a right CM. Or remember when Trent started right back and he started the right wing. That's where Saka got his hat trick and he played that wonderful ball right there for Saka's. I think it was his third goal. I think that's what we're missing. Clearly, Saka doesn't have a great relationship with Walker on the pitch, but also I think we're getting like a misconception of Saka as a player because normally what he likes to do, he likes to roll fullbacks because he's normally stronger than stronger than most fullbacks. So he likes to ball with feet and just roll them or play a 1-2 with Odegaard.
Yeah.
So I
But
think
if he
that's
plays
the
a
issue.
1-2, that is getting in behind.
He's definitely he's getting in behind, but he's not that type of person. Like,
I think he's versatile. As a
he is,
winger.
of course, he's versatile, but it's not his like
It's
game.
not. He's not a direct passer ball in behind every
So
time.
if Declan Rice has the balls, he's not going to go like I need to make that run or whatever stuff like that. But
Yeah.
that's why I feel like Anthony Gordon is so important, and I think that's why he needs to start over Foden because Foden obviously has not been playing well in that position, but also it's not his best position. And I feel like we've got Bellingham. I feel like Bellingham, we just got to start him right now.
Everyone wants to play inside, is what it is. So we need them wingers to stay wide because I'm sorry, you can't drop Harry Kane. As crap as he's been,
Yeah, you can't. There's three players you just can't drop. I feel like
and who are they for you?
Kane, Bellingham. Actually, I think that's it.
I would argue it's Kane, Bellingham, Rice because
Rice,
you can't.
Rice, yeah.
Because you can't drop Rice because that's the spine. First of all, that's the spine and team. But second of
And
all,
what he does defensively.
it's not even that. It's again, it's partly down to Southgate not utilising the squad earlier on. But you can't just throw Adam Wharton now on his Euros debut in the quarter-final. You can't expect him to do that. I don't want Kobe Mainoo playing as a 6. I want him playing as an 8 because he's so much better at advancing the ball. Like, I honestly think at the start of the tournament, if we'd given Wharton and Mainoo a role in midfield together, we could see a very different England side. But part of what this side he's selecting is based on who he trusts, but also how he wants to play.
Yeah.
And he trusts these players to do what he wants. They are executing what Gareth Southgate wants to do at the end of the day. That's aside from them also playing poorly.
Yeah.
I can acknowledge a lot of them are playing poorly, but they are executing what they've been told to do and how they've been told to play. Because those defenders aren't just standing in no man's land. They're not clowns.
Yeah.
That's where they've been told to play as a side. Do you understand? Kane dropping in deep works if you've got them wingers that are staying wide.
Yeah.
If they're dropping in as well, we're just crowding, and so much of the time we're seeing us faffing about with the ball on like this, like just the top of each penalty box and each corner, and we're giving the ball away. So in every game we've been giving the ball away there.
With Kane, of course, what we saw in Bayern, he needs those fast, direct swingers, and also what we
He's
saw.
had it all the time. He's had it with Son.
Yeah, we've had it with Son. Also in England, he had Sterling and Rashford last time, and that's why. Obviously, there was a big debate about why Sterling.
For me, the biggest miss is Sterling. And I love Marcus Rashford, but he's been so bad. And I know Sterling's been bad, but Sterling's been England's best player at previous tournaments.
Yeah.
And probably, actually, since Sterling came in, like since 2016, each tournament, Sterling has been one of England's best players.
Yeah. Personally, I didn't want him in the squad. I didn't think I selected him.
And I think he's got so much experience. He's won everything for football, bar the Champions League. Okay, but he's won numerous Premier Leagues. He is the player in that side I think we're missing, personally, because of what he offers and his experience. And I know probably Marcus Rashford arguably could be a better player. He's faster, probably gets it a bit more stronger. But for me, we're missing a Raheem Sterling.
Yeah, we are missing that type of player. But I feel like that season that he had, it was just like, I don't think he just deserves to be on the plane. And I wanted Southgate to go in a different approach.
Cool. And agreed. At the start of the tournament, this squad he selected felt very brave.
Very brave.
Southgate's different. But it almost felt like he selected the squad now to appease the masses and appease the media pressure and scrutiny. And he knew picking this squad really who he's going to use. You're not going to play. You're not going to play. You're not going to play. I feel like Gareth Southgate knew the side he wanted to pick, knew the side he was going to use. Yeah. And it partly felt like he was just picking this squad to appease the masses and appease the media scrutiny. However, with that, it also feels like now it just feels like the guy's actually clueless.
So,
the constant usage of like certain players, and then also his inability to change based on how the game is going. Like, that game was screaming out for Trent. That game was screaming out for Trent. This is what we just said about the space. He closes that without even having to bring the ball up. He can just pass it up. But he can also dribble it up from right back. Like, he's that good at football.
Facts.
He can cut in with the ball and dribble. He can pass it, switch the play, and take the space and the game completely away from Slovakia
And
straight
people
away.
will attract him. The opposition players will attract him, which will leave
100%,
space for
100%.
other
It creates more opportunities.
Yeah.
Having Trippier, who again I thought was terrible on the ball. I don't think defensively he looked bad.
I didn't get why.
But on the ball, he was terrible. He kept, I mean, hospital ball in the first 5 minutes to Mark Gay. He's got him booked, and now out the next game, England's best player of the tournament so far. The whole thing is a mess, Patrick. Honestly, the whole thing is a mess. I don't see this team and how they're playing, how he's got them set up to go into this next game confident. Weirdly, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just being an England fan. You look at the side and go, I think it's going to be different this time. I think it's going to be different this game. I think we're going to.
Yeah,
I think we're going to do something.
Yeah, it's just that.
Blind faith in the team you're
blind
supporting.
faith, yeah, literally. But and also the players. When you see the players on,
You're like, something can happen. They can do something.
we can do
I
something.
think the thing is though, with that all being said, I still think we'll find a way to scrape through this next game as well. No, I don't think. I know because this one I thought,
I think
we'll get through
yeah.
Slovakia comfortably. I said it could feel Icelandy.
Iceland, you
But-
did say it.
This one, I think we'll scrape through.
It's gonna be
Similar. I think it'll be similar to this though.
I feel like it might be. I think Switzerland scores first again. I mean, I think Switzerland scores first.